Day. I'm trying to start a new band and gonna go out and jam today and jamming for the first time with a baritone guitar. That's gonna be an interesting experience for sure. Been trying to start all kinds of music projects over the years and they always seem to just disappear, but that's just how it goes over here. Yeah, forgot to turn off the notifications. Sorry about that. All right. Um, Trish, Um, yeah, I got a lot going on this summer. I just came back from Cancun. My mom rented a condo from a friend over there and had an interesting experience at Chichen Itza, the Mayan pyramids. Um, as you guys know, I don't sense energy, meaning that, everywhere I go, there's like a quantum oscillating harmonics that is just completely flat and bland, and life just does not have any substance to it whatsoever, like a computer game. And I will say that in Mexico, it hasn't gone down that far yet. There is still some sort of inkling of life force energy there that's disappearing quickly, um, which surprised me in a good way. But Chichen Itza, especially my second time there, the place has a very strange energy. It has a very, very strange energy. It almost feels like a like a time cycle or a time portal or a dimensional gateway where the layer between realms is very thin in that particular area. And I found out, I didn't even know this before. It's really sad that the majority of Mayan books on astrology were burned by the Spaniards, and there's only three left, and they're not even in Mexico. They took them to Europe. And I'm just really curious as to what those other books contained, because I don't think the answer that was given to us was that they were burned because the Spaniards couldn't read them. And I don't believe that. I actually believe that they knew exactly what was contained in those books, and it would have been extraordinary knowledge for humanity. And of course, religions can't have that, can they? They can't help humanity in any way, shape, or form for centuries and centuries and millennia, which is why we're not evolving. We're not evolving at all. I disagree if you think we're evolving. I believe technology is evolving, not us. Still the same old barbarians, savage barbarians we were 2,000 years ago, just a little bit more pacified than those barbarians. That's the only difference. We have bloodlust on TV now instead of having to necessarily do it in person. We're being suppressed, Trish. We're being suppressed. And it's the same idea with the Vatican Library. The Vatican Library is hiding information from us and all sorts of other things. And I don't believe the Spaniards were just a bunch of dumb religious nut jobs. Well, they were nut jobs. They were nut jobs, but I don't think they were dumb. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. I think they knew exactly what they were doing by enslaving natives all over the land. I think that it was an operation deliberately stifling human evolution, which is what religion is. Operations that stifle evolution, including the worst religion of all, atheism. That particular religion makes you most stagnant of all, with no potential for growth. And it's all religions. Anyway, I'm really off topic. Um, really weird shit going on. Really weird shit. I already told you guys about the guy who broke into our apartment. And yes, I'm pretty confident it was just some drunk in the wrong building. But even though he was just some drunk, the manner in which he came in and his behavior was really strange. Walking into our bedroom and shining a light right in our face. Can you imagine waking up at 6 a.m.? And I was like half asleep still, so I would just like walk them out the door and just said, please leave, and just went back to sleep. Well, you see, that's the thing when you live on the first floor, right? I'm completely exposed to the outside, which really kind of made me think about a shit hit the fan scenario that, we have no protective barrier around here whatsoever. But I do have, I'm not going to talk about it, but we don't have to be concerned about shit hit the fan, right? We don't have to worry about that because the dangling carrot only dangles and only gets us near shit hit the fan, but it always takes it back right when we're on the edge, which is really strange. It's like a game. It's like a mind game. It's so strange. There's something very, very coordinated and planned about it all, and it's so stupid. I hate it. Yeah, Trish, it is wild, but it's not even close to as wild as what happened last night. Come home from a long day of hanging out, Dina's family, and I'm in the bathroom, and Dina, my wife, is yelling, "What the hell is in the kitchen?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? There's nothing in the kitchen." And she's like, "There's drops of blood everywhere." So I go in and there's drops of blood everywhere. About big, big size. Like drops of blood that you would serious cut. Like a stitches kind of a cut. And they're just kind of all over. So I'm like, my first thought is, oh, my cat. I thought my cat was injured. And she comes and we look at her and there's nothing wrong with her. Everyone looks at themselves. No cuts on anybody's body. Nothing unusual. So I should have filmed it. I should have taken pictures, but my wife quickly cleaned it up. And it's really creepy. This is like something straight up from a poltergeist type situation. I don't know what the hell it is. But as we all know, I'm very much being targeted for years and years and years and years on end now with no end in sight. Uh, and Yeah, you really try to become numb to all of it. You try to just switch off the mind entirely, and a lot of times it just doesn't seem to work. It just doesn't seem to work. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Ozzy Osbourne. I had this weird vision come to mind that I freaked out. Nah, people don't freak me out anymore. Trish, nobody intimidates me. You just become so numb. I don't care if Goliath came up to my face. I don't care, It's just like everything's just whatever now. It's just this whole reality is so stupid. Like, how can anything intimidate you in such a stupid place? Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, Ozzy Osbourne died, and he was a really strange character, as you all know. And I had this, like, download of information hit my brain. So, what I've been doing lately, I've been trying to meditate more. Like, I would kind of go to a location and I would like go deep inside and try to picture parallel realities of said location. That's something I'm really interested in. I really, as you know, love parallel realities because I don't like this one. So I would occasionally, get visions of possible parallel realities, right? And then, of course, I had plenty of dreams and out of body experiences, which I unfortunately haven't had one in a long time now. No out of body experiences lately. Um, but I do get interesting downloads of information and visions from time to time, especially if I become very focused with, just drowning out all this nonsense in my head that just continuously just bombards my brain day and night. You have to kind of step away from that. But so I had this vision, and I don't care if it's real or not real, or if it's made up or not. I don't care. If you've been with me for a long time, you know full well that it doesn't matter if something is quote unquote made up. It exists. Mind exists eternally, and the eternal mind has infinite creative potential. So there is no such thing as truly made up. Okay? There is eternal mind, and eternal mind cannot and will not ever stop creating. I even watch the Osbournes, and I don't watch TV either. Yeah, speaking of I've been teaching my son to play guitar, and the last song that he learned how to play fully was Iron Man by Black Sabbath. So might be a interesting synchronicity there. I don't know. Pengredi, hi. But anyway, I focus deeply, guys. I was really curious about Ozzy Osbourne and the afterlife, and a lot of narrow-minded people just automatically assume that he would be in hell instantly, right? It's a very juvenile way of thinking. You're undermining the complexity of a soul and the complexity of someone's mind, their subconscious mind, their deepest thoughts, their deepest desires. That is all undermined, but everyone has a unique afterlife experience. Oz was a family man and a beautiful soul. I think so too. I think so too. But I saw him die, and the first thing I see is like this cobblestone street. And he's looking at this cobblestone street, and it's like the 1500s in England. And there's a horse and carriage. And there is this old man wearing like a cape with a stick, and he's walking and talking to him. And they're just having this in-depth, interesting conversation. And he's really fixated on this. And this appeared to me possibly a past life or something. I don't know. But things changed after that. He kind of got stuck in like a sort of labyrinth type situation where he was pulled through, his soul was pulled through different versions of English folklore, essentially, and Scottish folklore. And he was kind of experiencing, druid type situations. He was seeing wizards. He was seeing like all this old English magical stuff, and he was being pulled in either direction towards these type of archetypes, these type of ideas. And it was really interesting to see. And after he was stuck in this sort of weaving labyrinth for a long time, I saw a man made out of a tree. Called him the Apple Tree Man. And the Apple Tree Man took him by the hand and led him into what looked like the Scottish Highlands, into this massive cave. And he goes inside this massive cave, and I don't think that this entire time, I don't think that he knows he's dead. I don't think so. He does find out though, so he goes into this massive cave where a giant screen is now over him, and that's where he has his life review. And I actually saw part of that, and I saw like the passion. There's a lot of concert scenes, and a lot of family scenes, and I saw that raw passion for music he had. Like, it was really deep. Okay, I actually felt the energy. I felt just how deeply like he loved music. It was on a carnal type of level of passion for music. Okay, and it was interesting to watch. Did have the shot though. Nobody talks about the deep reality of the soul. I don't know if nobody talks about the deep reality of the soul. I just my issue is that, like, everyone has like some kind of streamlined specific idea. This has to be this way, that has to be that way. The reincarnation soul trap, that's what it is, and that there's nothing else. It's just a soul trap. It's just heaven, it's just hell, it's just this, it's just that, it's just the light at the end of the tunnel. And you see found it's a really big oversimplification of eternity. Okay, eternity has infinite archetypes. It has infinite constructs that you know emit their own unique oscillations and energies, and are profoundly deep. Because just think about it, there's nothing else to do forever. There's so little to do forever that a play monstrosity like the one we're in is created, unfortunately, very unfortunately, and recreated over and over. And I will never ever be able to understand why this place exists. I don't care who tells me what. It's going to be a struggle for me forever to understand this place in particular. But whatever, I'm connected. Thanks, Mackenzie. And I don't claim the vision was real. I don't claim jack shit. I don't know. But I thought I feel like I needed to share it though, because it was interesting at the very least. One thing that was certainly real though was the blood on the floor, and the guy breaking into my apartment, and the endless 666s and 911s, and the Porsche 911 I just saw the other day with a 666 plate, a 911 Porsche with a 666 plate. That's all 100% real. Vision, I can't confirm anything about visions, but it's insanity. It's insanity. It's creepy. Like, my wife did not know where that blood came from, guys. It's just, I don't know what to even say at this point. But all right, guys, you have a good one.